listening to Sports Radio Detroit.
Hello and welcome back to Grave Discussions. I am your host, Barnabas.
And I am your co-host, good old Beelzebub, Samael.
And if you're an American, you may have been celebrating the 4th of July this week.
And if you weren't, you're a fucking commie.
Oh, yeah. Fucking commies. So, with the 4th of July, you know, barbecues, patriotism, hot dogs, and
undead
horror movies.
And undead army men.
Yes. Yeah, that's the subject of one movie that we're going to be talking about today for this special 4th of July themed episode.
That wasn't a really American tone. That was just...
yeah. So anyway, we're going to be talking about the 4th of July. This is going to be kind of a shorter episode, kind of just a fun episode since it's, you know, the holiday week. So we're going to be talking about 4th of July based movies and, you know, horror that's kind of like taking place on the 4th of July or whatever. So it's just going to be a fun one. If you guys are still looking for horror movies to check out, you know, for the holiday, then we'll help you out. Before we get into it, though, as always, we want to give a special shout out to our hosts, Sports Radio Detroit. And you can follow those guys on social media and check out all of the other awesome shows like ours. And you can do that at Facebook and Instagram, just Sports Radio Detroit, and then on Twitter at Sports Radio DET. And with that, let's jump right into it, Sam. I'm going to have some news here. And the first bit of news is about, speaking of Stephen King, we just did an episode all about Stephen King.
Right.
The Shining sequel, Dr. Sleep, which actually concerns a much older Danny, like realizing his psychic powers and shit, right? It's been a book. It's now going to be a movie. And they just cast the leading lady who, her role isn't specified, but it's Rebecca Ferguson, and I normally like her as an actress. She's going to be joining Ewan McGregor, who is going to be playing the adult Danny Torrance.
What?
Really? Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Ewan McGregor. So
that dude is great.
Yeah, he's a great actor for sure. All right, and then moving on now. This one kind of ticked me off. It's about the new Child's Play, but not the TV show that's coming up. Apparently, there's going to be another remake.
You guys need to leave Chucky alone.
For real.
Like, the last shit was like, what is it, The Cult of Chucky, when there was like 400 of him? I'm probably going to get to that one day, but like, I don't know, man. They just need to leave this shit alone. I mean, I guess like the Myers shit being redid is okay, I guess. Like, I haven't seen it yet. Mm-hmm. You know, we don't go to pre-screenings, you know?
Yeah.
We're not in there. But, I don't know, man. I'm just sick of this shit. They just did Leatherface again. They did an origin story, and then now they're gonna do the fucking. Jason's got nothing because of the lawsuit and shit, and now Chucky, and then you know you got the fucking which Scream is good, the series, but like, I think Chucky should be like left alone. I think they should have ended at Cult of Chucky.
Well, you know what the worst part is? The fact that they know that there's a fucking TV show coming out that carries on the same like canon, like the same story as there's always been with like Andy and shit, right? But they know that that's coming out, and then there's still like, you know what would be great? A fucking Chucky movie to go along with this TV show, but the Chucky movie is going to be different. It's going to be this technologically advanced doll.
It's like, yo, I know we just released this Chucky movie that wasn't too great. How about we continue?
Okay.
How about we continue that on immediately? Don't give it any time to breathe. That's what fucked up Myers. You remember Halloween 5 was a fucking shitstorm, and that came out a year after the fourth one. So
yeah, I don't mind.
I need to chill out.
Are you talking about the TV show?
Huh?
Are you talking about the TV show or the movie?
What do you mean
the
Child's Play?
Yeah,
both.
Okay, I mean, yeah, but I don't mind the TV show that much. I feel like it's been a long enough time.
I feel the TV
from
show
the movie
can help keep Chucky alive. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because no one's just gonna keep seeing movie after movie. But once you get sucked into a TV show that they got all 400 episodes on fucking Netflix,
Yeah.
then you just fucking watch it.
But I'm just saying, like, the fact that they know that they're doing the TV show about it and then introducing a movie at the same time, but it's going to be different, like, that just makes no sense to me. So
Yeah.
it's, I'm pretty upset about that, but we'll see where it goes. I'm not really that excited.
Like, I've gotten to the point where I don't care anymore. Like, unless they like do some unless they try to like make another Candyman or remake it, then I'm gonna be pissed if they don't.
Yeah,
if
I mean,
they do
yeah,
that
that's like a movie that deserves to be. But like Chucky, like there's all these movies, bro. There's a fucking TV show on the way. Why do you need to make another movie? I don't get it.
Well, especially like so soon. Like
Right.
I said, like that's a recipe for disaster for even like the big horror guys like Freddy and Leatherface. Like it was always like historically releasing a movie too soon.
Yeah.
Like after the most recent one, and they just fucking flopped, you know.
Yeah.
Then they became like cult favorites, like way later on, because I guess people had time to let it sink in, and I guess the nostalgia is what kind of does it. Then and you're like, actually, it's a good movie. It's like, no, you've just watched it 500 times, and you now have an emotional attachment to this movie for whatever reason, even though it's bad, you know.
Right. Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, I think we just have to see like where that goes, but yeah. If you're a big Chucky fan, maybe you're excited about that. I don't know. Let us know your thoughts. Next up, though, is a new casting announcement. So if you're at all familiar with vampires in the Marvel comic book universe, you're going to know about Morbius, okay? And there is going to be a new Marvel film entirely about Morbius. And guess who just got cast as the lead character?
I didn't check it out. Who?
Jared Leto.
Oh man. Oh.
I know.
Oh.
I know. That's the exact same reaction I had.
For those of you who don't know who Jared Leto is, he's the lead singer of 30 Seconds to Mars, and he played the Joker in the recent movie with Harley Quinn.
Yeah, Suicide Squad. Yeah.
I did not like him. I don't like him as a person, so.
I think he is an okay actor in certain roles, but I did not like his Joker. It was way too crazy. And I don't mean that in the respect of like the Joker being crazy.
No, it was that he was like that overdone crazy bullshit.
Yeah,
like,
it was just
over the
overacted.
top. It wasn't like the first Joker. You want to know how I got these scars? Like that wasn't no. This guy's like, like he was like a fucking dickhead Joker. He was like fucking meth head Joker.
I think he just tried too hard to be too different.
Bro, he wore grills. Are you fucking serious?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it was, and he had all those tattoos. It was terrible.
Bro, he looked like a fucking. He looked like Little Pump. Like that was fucking horrible.
Every SoundCloud rapper out there now.
Yeah, bro, fuck that.
Yeah, nobody will be able to like argue, you know, with me about that and like change my mind. I don't think, because it's just terrible. To see him as Morbius, I don't know about that. I think the character is like so cool, and he is like so not cool.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah.
So,
and that's like if they got fucking. If they got fucking, let's pick some, like fucking Jonah Hill to be fucking Superman. Like that's what that's.
Yeah.
Is that fairly accurate? Jonah Hill being Superman, is that equally as bad?
Or even
like,
Nicolas Cage being Superman, which almost happened. So.
Oh my God! Really?
Yeah.
I mean, Nicolas Cage does not look like
definitely
comic book Superman. At least get someone to at least fit like the fucking description. You know?
Yeah. So I mean, yeah, be on the lookout for that. I know.
Jared Leto.
My initial thought about Jamie Foxx being Spawn though too was like, I don't know.
No,
but
I knew that.
More
I knew
believable.
that was gonna be fire. I knew that was gonna be fire. I called it when I saw that shit. I was like, yo,
that's more believable than Jared Leto being.
No, it's because when I watched this dude, like, I mean, I've seen Jamie Foxx act, but when I watched fucking Django, I was like, damn, this dude's fucking gangster as shit.
Django was
like,
awesome.
The Django. D is silent, hillbilly. Like that was fire.
Yeah, he is a great actor. I mean, like I said, Jared Leto has had a couple okay roles, but nothing like amazing. And I don't like him playing all these like characters, you know.
Wasn't he in a horror movie? Wasn't he in like Urban Legends or some shit?
I think he was in something way back, but I don't remember what exactly. But anyway, we'll see about Morbius. Just keep an eye out on that one. The last bit of real news here is about It Chapter 2. I'm super stoked for this movie.
Oh, yeah.
And they just announced that they're kicking off principal photography. And there's an official cast photo as well. And it's got all of them just kind of sitting at a table and just kind of like talking to each other and shit.
Oh, shit.
So it's pretty cool. Yeah, we got the whole cast here. I'm not going to name them all off. You guys can find that if you're not sure who they are. But I'm excited about that, man. Knowing that they're creating It Chapter 2 right now, that's really exciting.
Yeah, man. Because, like, the remake, I'm not going to lie. The original, like, I guess nostalgia will always have me, like, see it that it's better.
Yeah.
Because it's, you know, the original anyway. But
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, man. I felt like it was great. Like,
it was really good. There's no doubt about that. It may have been the best horror movie.
Had a lot of comedic
Of last
relief,
year.
though. That's what I kind of didn't like about it.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of jokes, like, take me to this fucking crack house with this fucking clown. Like, it's like...
That kind of is how it is in the
bro.
book, though, you know, because the book is so gigantic, and there is some humor, because they're kids, you know? So, I think that makes complete sense. I think they did a great job, so I'm excited for Chapter 2. We're going to tell you guys about a couple of new trailers out now, real quick, and then we're going to move on to our next segment. The first one is actually did not see this trailer, but finally, The Summer of '84.
Oh, shit, bro.
Brand new trailer.
I saw that poster. We saw that shit back in, like, fucking March.
Yeah.
You remember?
Yeah. And we were like, dang, this looks good. A new movie kind of in the vein of, like, House of the Devil, where it's, like, all just 80s and shit. I'm really excited. Like I said, I did not actually get a chance to watch this trailer, but it is out. So if you're a slasher movie fan and you're kind of, you know, intrigued by this new slasher wave, then I would keep an eye on this one for sure. The film hits theaters August 10th, and then VOD and digital HD August 24th.
Nice.
Yeah. And the next trailer is about this movie called Book of Monsters. Again, I was not able to get a chance to watch this trailer, but it does look really cool. I kind of just like flew through it, but it looks pretty low budget, but this practical effects actually look pretty fucking good. And it's just about this a group of women who get like trapped in one of their houses, and they're like fighting off of these all these like demons and shit, you know, with like chainsaws and stuff, kind of Evil Dead-y.
Yeah.
And it almost looks like it's got that humor factor potentially to it, so that one looks pretty cool. Book of Monsters, it's going to have its world premiere August 25th at the 2018 Fright Fest in London. So I guess if you're an English listener, then you might want to go check that out. The last one I actually found today about a movie called Angel, and this one actually might interest you. I did watch this trailer, and it looks pretty good. It's about this, like, it looks like it's this little girl who has this weird mask on, so it might be a new slasher movie.
Oh, that's fucking weird.
Yeah, it's a female protagonist.
It's like some Sweet Alice shit.
Yeah, it's a female antagonist, potential female killer, which is cool, and she's masked too, so that's interesting. So keep an eye out on that one. Right now, though, we're gonna move on to the Cult Corner. And as this is a special July 4th themed episode,
Yeah.
I think it's only right to have our Cult Corner selection be none other than Uncle Sam.
Oh, man. I saw this shit back when FearNet still existed. I was in, like, fucking middle school. I think 6th grade or 7th grade. And, like, I remember it being, like, super cheesy.
Mm-hmm.
And I remembered bits and parts of it, but I was like, oh, man, I don't even know if I'm excited for this one. Cause, like, I don't remember anything astonishing about it, you know?
Yeah, I mean, we're going to give our ratings and stuff. But when the first time I saw it, which was like last week or something, it definitely had that like 90s style nostalgia, because the movie came out in 96.
Wasn't heavy with it though. Like,
yeah, it felt like a totally normal movie. Like, it didn't romanticize the trends and shit of the 90s, basically, like a lot of 80s movies did, right?
Yeah, that shit was
it was just like, hey, here's this weird ass concept, and it's gonna be all July 4th based, right? Like all American based and shit. And really, it's like the most American fucking horror movie out there, you know?
Yeah.
Like for real. So it's basically about this. I don't know. He was a member of the military. I don't know. Was he like a master sergeant or something like that?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, in like the Army or Air Force potentially.
And he got fucking shot down by friendly fire.
Yeah. And so his remains go back to his family. Of course, it's his wife who's living with the man's sister and her son. So it's this weird like family dynamic, and the remains are there, and the kid's like super patriotic. Basically, this guy was his hero, and he wishes that he could like, still be there, but like, I don't know, fucking demoralize the enemies of America. So the dead guy comes back to life somehow. It's never really like explained
at all. Yeah, that's what I kind of. I mean, I like that sometimes, but like when it's like that type of scenario, like, hey, why is this combat sergeant like just undead now?
Right, like he just comes back and kills people. Like,
yeah, I don't get it.
Yeah. Honestly, I think the movie had like a lot of plot holes and just loose ends and
like wires.
Yeah.
They had wires when Uncle Sam got, spoiler alert, flung by some cannon.
Yeah.
And you see the fucking wires on his back yanking him into the house on like a fucking...
Yeah. And yeah, it's not a low budget movie. It had a budget of like $2 million.
It was a $2 million budget movie, bro. Like,
and you could see the fucking...
like, bro.
All right.
I don't know, like, what do you think about... So the antagonist, Sam.
Yeah.
Like, what do you rate him? Like...
So we're going to try to do something kind of newer here. We're going to, have a couple like little categories and very briefly just kind of give a rating out of 5 for it. And I feel like that'll definitely help. But the antagonist, I gave a 4.5 out of 5 because I think that he's really cool.
Yeah, I gave 5 out of 5 just because of like, he just looked dope without that fucking stupid ass mask on.
Yeah.
And I'm rating him solely on like how cool he looks.
Mm-hmm.
And like the kills are pretty much average though, but like there's one fucking thing I couldn't stand though, like is like that fucking whispering shit that he was doing.
Yeah, his voice
he
was
didn't
terrible.
have like a demonic voice. He was just like, hey, come over here.
It was like loud whispering, like literally. It was terrible. But yeah, his appearance and everything was really cool. The practical effects on him were dope. Because basically he was just wearing like this Uncle Sam getup. That's why it's Uncle Sam, and his name was Sam. But yeah, I really liked him. Unfortunately, he's not at that like Freddie and Michael level and shit, because he's kind of like a gimmick, But I still thought it was a cool character. It was a cool concept. So 4.5. Survivors though, Final Boy, Final Girl, Survivors.
1 out of 5.
The little kid sucked. I hated the little kid.
Hated him.
Both
of them.
Yeah, the sister and the mom didn't really give a shit, except for that one scene. But I don't want to spoil it. But there was one scene where they were kind of redeemable. But other than that, not interesting at all.
Yeah, Survivors were horrible. The blind kid that was in a wheelchair was just like the blind girl from The Langoliers that Mr. Toomey stabbed. Like, it was like the same fucking... And really Premonition, too. Really. It's the same fucking character. They just recycled the same fucking chick and they turned it into a little kid for some fucking random B movie about the Uncle Sam undead killer. Oh, boy.
Yeah, it was not that good. Isaac Hayes as Jed was pretty much the only redeeming quality.
Exactly, yeah.
So I gave the Survivor aspect a 1 for nostalgia purposes, and I think this is definitely like a big factor in what can make a movie cult. I gave it a 3 out of 5 stars, but I feel like...
I gave it 2 out of 5.
Yeah, I don't know. I was a little more generous because I did kind of feel some nostalgia because it was still,
It's not like they were showing old fucking, Capri Sun commercials. I wasn't feeling nostalgic at all. I didn't give a shit about like...
Yeah.
I mean, they weren't even really... What were they doing in there that was like so like 90s?
The kid's haircut was very 90s.
Oh, the fucking almost mullet? That shit was fucking terrible.
It was like a half mullet, half bowl cut. Yeah, it sucked. So
no cell phones though. That's a plus. Nostalgia. Nobody was using their cell phones.
It's just like the little things that you notice. But we grew up in the 90s, so I mean, it wasn't that bad for us. The 80s is like a whole other fucking universe for us,
Yeah.
Even now. So yeah, I give it nostalgia a 3. It was okay. Acting wise, I gave it a 1, and pretty much same. That 1 is just from Isaac Hayes because everybody else was.
He's the only one that gets a point. Like everyone else was. Well, that blonde chick. They were
was okay.
The blonde, his sister and his wife, they were both kind of like over dramatic.
Yeah.
It seemed like they were like reading,
Yeah.
And so 1 out of 5 for Isaac Hayes.
Yeah. The kid sucked. Obviously he's a kid, but he sucked. Anyway,
for the plot, what'd you say?
The plot I gave a 1.5.
Yeah, I gave it a 2 out of 5
5.
because they didn't say shit about what the fuck was going on and why it was happening.
It was just a blatant.
He's a killer, so he can't die.
See, this is what I'm gonna leave off with on that point. It was an overly simplistic plot at the end, but it was trying to do too many complicated things.
It was trying to like bring in themes that were like, okay, why are you bringing themes into this cheesy horror movie? Like talking about like, oh, he used to abuse his little sister and shit, and like, come on, bro, like. You can't just sneak that theme in and be like, yeah, he's always been a killer.
Right.
We gotta stop him. Like,
yeah. So that's what I'll say about that. Cinematography, I gave it 2, nothing special, and I'm just gonna leave it at that.
I gave it a 3. I just liked the shots they had.
Okay,
like,
that's fair.
And that kind of attributes to the nostalgia thing. Like you said, you knew it was a '90s movie because of like how the cinematography was. So like,
right. Yeah, that's fair. Score wise, I gave it a 2.
1.
Yeah, maybe even a 1, honestly.
That shit I think it was pretty bad.
It was just horror movie music. It wasn't anything special.
Yeah.
The effects, however, I'd give a 4 out of 5. I think the effects were good. The fireworks, the Uncle Sam like practical effects, those were all good.
I like how they actually shot a cannon and it wasn't CGI. Yeah. But the second I saw those wires on Uncle Sam, I was like, I was like, 5 out of 5. This is the best movie ever.
They definitely spent
that shit was hilarious.
They definitely spent like most of their budget on the practical effects and shit, and they probably didn't have enough to pay the editor to like take out those wires,
Yeah, they were like, fuck it, man.
Yeah,
I'm not paying this motherfucker $10,000 to just blurt those out. We'll get a remastered version soon, don't worry.
Yeah,
we'll be big.
Right.
So for the technical score, I scored altogether out of all those 20 out of 40, so it's a 50% score. So it's on the edge, but then my final score, this is like
personal.
This is a personal score. 3 out of 5, 60%. So it's I'll give it barely a thumbs up. Like you should. It's pretty. It's so like it's fucking cheesy. You should watch it.
Yeah.
But when the kid, ooh,
at the end. Yeah, the kid's physical acting was awful.
Oh my god, he's like, ooh, like, bro.
Yeah, for real. So my technical score is 48%, and then I gave it a personal final rating of 2.5 stars. It was okay. I think it's definitely cult because of the whole like Uncle Sam character, and as a killer, I think that automatically makes you like a cult horror movie. But
yeah,
so that's that. While we're talking about Uncle Sam, though, this is a movie that takes place on July 4th, celebrating America, right? And there's this fucking undead monster stalking around, like killing people.
It was not a monster; it's a guy.
Yeah, well,
a fucked up guy who
he's
did
an
horrible
undead
shit.
thing. So, yeah, and it's not the first movie to do something like that on a holiday like the 4th of July, especially the 4th of July, because it's not really. I mean, we've had so many like Christmas themed horror movies, obviously Halloween, even like other holidays and shit. But the 4th of July is like,
it's a really obscure holiday to like make a murderer like center around a murderer. I don't know.
Yeah,
it's like if we did. See, even St. Patrick's Day murderer makes more sense because I mean I don't know when they found the little leprechaun. I'm just assuming it was during that time because it's very festive for the Irish. I'm assuming. I don't know shit about anything. I'm just saying stuff. So
yeah, I don't know, man. But so yeah, it makes it super unique. But there have been other horror movies that haven't like specifically focused on the 4th of July, or even in that aspect like America. But
yeah.
There have been many that have like taken place on the 4th of July, and it does have some relevance to the story.
Bro, there was fucking New Year's Evil. There was New Year's Evil. There was Silent Night. Was it Deadly Night or Bloody Night?
Silent Night, Bloody Night, I think.
Yeah, and then Black Christmas, and then all these Christmas theme. Like, then there's Halloween, and did they do the Thanksgiving? Yeah, Thanksgiving. You remember Thanksgiving?
Yeah,
that shit is.
And I think it was Silent Night, Deadly Night. Anyway, but
that shit was bad.
Yeah,
there's been a lot of shit, but this is one of like the only 4th of July like.
Yeah, there aren't like a ton.
Movies.
Uncle Sam is definitely the best known, I think, like for that in particular. But Jaws actually took place on 4th of July.
I don't think Jaws is a horror. That's like a nature fucking action movie.
I think it's widely accepted as a horror movie though. So, I mean, that's what I think too. I think it could definitely be like, there was one movie about based on true events about this fucking like bear attack on these 2 hikers. I definitely consider that a horror movie because that movie was scary, bro.
Which movie?
It's called Backwoods Country, I think, or something like that.
I think I saw it on fucking Hulu or some shit.
It's actually a great movie, but it is scary because, I mean, nature is nature, but nature can be terrifying. And
nah, bro,
you know, fucking getting attacked by a great white shark.
Being attacked by a bear is scary, but you're gonna die pretty quick. So you'll be free of a lot of pain relatively quickly. But let's say there's like a demonic 19-foot scorpion chasing you. That's a better for a horror movie because it's just something you weren't like. You know, these are like fucking adventure survival movies. Like,
I mean, there's still people getting
like the movie with Liam Neeson with the wolves and shit. Like,
well, see, I wouldn't consider that because that has more horror. Like, I'm sorry, like adventure aspects to it, like elements. I think that there are definitely movies that look more and feel more like horror movies that just star killer animals.
I consider thriller like movies more horror. Like When a Stranger Calls, that's more of a horror movie to me than, let's say, like Alien. And I know I might get shit for that, but
yeah, I don't know.
Because Aliens, like, yeah, it's aliens, but like they're like, whoa, the continuum trans, and they're saying all this scientific shit. Like, I don't give a fuck. Like, The Relic was that wasn't a horror movie, that was a sci-fi movie, but like, sure, murder happens, so it's a sci-fi thriller, you know. So I guess that could be like.
Yeah, I don't know.
But I mean like real life thriller, like not no sci-fi shit, not like Sharknado, you know, that's not fucking.
Well, I feel like this is a whole different topic of conversation, but anyway, Jaws took place on the 4th of July.
Fuck so you, Jaws is not a horror movie.
Oh, anyway, The Shining.
Jaws is not a horror movie.
The Shining also actually, well, it doesn't really have anything to do with 4th of July. But
Jaws and The Shining,
4th of July celebration.
Jaws and that, like, they don't glorify it being 4th of July. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know. This is just other
Uncle
movies.
Sam's like the fucking.
Uncle Sam is definitely the definitive one. Apparently, Final Destination 3 also run into each other at a 4th of July celebration, and shit happens. Independence Day is not really a horror movie, but that takes place on there. I Know What You Did Last Summer, where they kill a man on the 4th of July.
Last summer, but it's based on last summer.
Yeah,
not supposed to. I Know What You Did Last Independence Day. That's fucking stupid.
Right. And then also there's 2001 Maniacs, which I actually like that movie. It's got Robert Englund in it.
I've heard of it, never watched it.
Yeah, apparently this group of like people stumbles upon this town that seems frozen in time. And basically they're in like fucking colonial America celebrating the 4th of July. So it's this huge like celebration, but they're like, I don't know if they're spirits or some, I don't know, something like that. And it's a crazy movie, but yeah, that's a good one to watch too if you're looking for more like 4th of July based stuff.
You should make a 4th of July based movie.
Yeah, maybe I will. Maybe Uncle Sam 2.
Independence Day Massacre.
Uncle Sam Origins.
Like you strap like a 3-year-old to like a fucking, what are those called? A Roman candle, and just it'll make for a good. That's horror, right? You just fucking probably. You just cringed, so you're like, yeah, that's horror, bro.
Well, anyway, those are some good movies to check out if you're looking for more. I think the whole 4th of July thing is interesting because Jaws was a perfect example because, you know, 4th of July is a celebratory day, right? Basically,
yeah.
For some people, the whole like fucking week, or where we live, 2 months before it,
yeah,
shooting off fireworks and shit. But anyway, you know, people feel comfortable, feel safe. You know, there's festivity and shit, and then like they go to the beach, right? Like in Jaws, they think they're safe, they think everything's okay. Boom, shark attack,
yeah.
Right? And a whole host of these other movies are like the same way. So I think they're good representations of just like the amount of shit that can happen to you at any given time, no matter what day it is, where you are, even if you're in America, you know, no matter how safe you feel. So I think that's interesting. The Purge is actually a great example of that too. The Purge is also one of these movies you could check out because it's basically about America. I think, doesn't The Purge happen on the 4th of July?
Does it?
I think it might. I could be totally wrong. I'm not exactly sure.
No, I don't think, bro. Like Purge Day, it's his own day.
Okay, I don't know. But anyway, you know, the movie's about America. People associate it with the 4th of July based on that pretty much solely. So yeah, that's a good one you could check out. But yeah, The Purge is basically exactly that, right? Like you think you're safe, and then one day out of the year you could just get fucking murdered by anybody, and they're gonna get off scotch-free. And you know, that's the kind of fear like that people have in America sometimes, that we're just gonna end up like as that kind of society. So I think it's interesting for sure. But yeah, if you have any other movies that you know of that you might recommend about the 4th of July, let us know what they are. Do you have any final thoughts?
No, watch Uncle Sam, get a chuckle in there. Check out a cool looking killer that could have been done a lot better. But
yeah.
And also enjoy the only horror movie about the 4th of July.
Basically, it is the definitive one. Yeah, that's all I have to say about that. We're going to move on now, though, to our final segment of the episode. Keeping it short and simple for you guys here on this holiday week. But right now, we're going to go to the chopping block. So this week's chopping block is about a brand new movie that just came out to Netflix. And this one is more sci-fi oriented, but I think it deserves to be called horror in some respects. But it's the new Netflix original movie Tao. So
there's a fucking AI house, right? No, I'm not gonna go on a rant. Yeah, so this girl gets like, she's like a fucking thief who like has like a pink wig, whatever, and she steals shit and she pawns it or whatever the fucking. She gets kidnapped and then she's in a basement with some people, and then she figures out how to free herself and gets the other two people killed by the AI named Tao, and he like turns into the giant robot, not giant, but like, you know.
Yeah. It's basically a smart house, and its inventor like has these other robots positioned in it, and they all can like communicate, and you know, yeah. I mean, he's trying to test the limits of this technology that he's invented, basically.
Yeah.
The girl is played by Maika Monroe. Ed Skrein plays the mad scientist inventor, whatever, and Tao is voiced by none other than Gary Oldman.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know Tao was Gary Oldman.
Yeah. It's pretty subtle, but you know, if you kind of know what Gary Oldman sounds like, if you really listen closely, I could hear it. It's just kind of like a higher pitch almost, and like just different inflections, but it's Gary Oldman.
Okay.
Yeah. And the movie was directed by Federico D'Alessandro. But yeah, I mean, overall, I kind of liked it. It didn't do anything hugely different in the whole like AI aspect of it. You know, you have an AI that wants to learn more, and it slowly becomes like more human the more it interacts with this person.
I didn't like how like they didn't really go in depth on like everything that was going on. Like they didn't really elaborate on what this guy was doing this for, how he was going to change the world, yada yada yada, and how many people has he, you know, done this to, and we didn't even know really enough about him. Like, what does he work? Who does he work for? Like, I think that was okay, you know, to kind of make him more like mysterious. And I liked just being at the house, but yeah, it didn't seem like he was fleshed out enough to make me care about him. I was way more interested in the relationship between the girl and obviously Tao. That's what kind of like ruined it for me. Like, spoiler alert, eventually the girl starts liking the AI and the AI starts liking the girl.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, it didn't feel like completely different. I think that there were actually some cool kills at the beginning. The beginning was my favorite part because there was actually a lot of stuff that happens, and then the rest is kind of just like this whole interaction. And there are some tense parts, but overall, I feel like it didn't have enough like oomph for me.
Yeah, it didn't either. You know? Yeah, I thought like it just felt like an empty movie to me.
Sort of.
Like it felt like, I don't know how to explain it to you, but like it felt like there was something missing. Like,
yeah, I mean, I
think being ignorant to it, like to what the plot is, sometimes is good, or like to it adds some like mystery. But that works for like shit like Halloween. But like, it's not like this crazy guy. He got an AI house and he kidnaps people and he kills them so they can draw shapes for him, so the AI can see how smart they are.
Yeah, I feel like that warrants a little bit more explanation, you know?
Yeah, but no, I don't want to see a sequel, and then if they explain it in the sequel, I don't give a shit enough to watch it.
Yeah,
I'm just going to read a Wikipedia synopsis and just be done with it.
Yeah, it should have been... I think it was too, like, long, you know, with scenes that nothing really happened that much in. So, yeah, I don't know. Here's what I'm going to say. I did enjoy it. The special effects were pretty cool in the robots because they looked like some old school like RoboCop effects, and I actually kind of like that. But overall, yeah, it was a little dull after everything happened in the beginning.
And there wasn't really much suspense at all. Like,
yeah.
you were just like waiting, and then she teaches Tao some stuff,
Right.
and then you wait again, and the guy comes home, and then she hides a piece of metal on the floor, and then you just wait again, and then it's the next day, and it's like the days keep counting down, and you're just like,
yeah. I feel like it was trying to be too smart, and I feel like they were trying to make Tao seem too much like fucking Hal from 2001: A Space Odyssey or some other like really iconic AI thing like that. But it just really wasn't. Gary Oldman, I love Gary Oldman, but Tao was just not quite that interesting. However, I think that it was done well enough that for me, it's not chopped. I think that you should definitely still go check it out. I think if you're not, if you like the sci-fi horror movies and shit more often, then you're probably gonna like this one. But for me, it's not chopped. What about you, Sam?
all right, I'm gonna be brutally honest, man. For me, it's chopped.
Okay.
So if you could choose between watching Tao and not watching Tao, you should like not watch Tao and like go do some cardio. You know, like you'll fucking you'll fucking have like 2 hours that actually means something. I thought this shit was like, I don't know. I thought it was void of like I felt like there was no substance in it. Like what was the lesson? Don't make smart houses. Is it just is it just like The Descent? Don't go into caves. Like, is that the main point?
Just don't make smart houses.
Don't make smart houses. No, I know the point of it, but I'm just saying, like, at the forefront, that's what it looks like. Like, technology bad, but human can make technology good if we teach technology emotion. Everybody is a living thing. Derpa 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 derp. Am I a person?
Oh my god.
You're a person, Tao. Please don't kill me.
Listen, here's what I'll leave off with. I think it's definitely like the poor man's Ex Machina, but I think it's a good enough movie. The acting was solid. The cinematography was good. The score was okay. It wasn't like phenomenal, but I still say it's worth a shot.
Who was the main actress? What was her name?
Maika Monroe from It Follows.
Yeah, she's great.
You're just saying that.
No, like I like her.
Yeah, me too. No, she's a great actress.
The movie's chopped. She's not chopped though.
That's true. So, guys, thank you for hanging out with us on this week of the 4th of July, celebrating America and celebrating good old American horror movies. I think we're going to wrap it up here, though. And
nothing's better than American horror movies.
That's true. Except some, like, foreign horror movies. But that's another matter.
Excuse me, boy. You speak that language over there?
Nah, I'm American.
All right, then.
All right, then.
We keep it here. We're number one. You can't deny.
We are number one. And we hope that you guys will join us next week for episode number 20 of
Grave Discussions.
This has been an SRD production.